What is up guys, Chester here. In this video I'm going to play TwoFold. I just wanted to play something recreational, so I choose TwoFold because it was on my Steam recommendation, and I'm really interested on what am I going to find out in this game. So if you're ready, let's do this.
College will open new paths for you, is what my mom had always said.
That is true. All the parents out there, they want their children go to college or university so that all of their dreams comes true.
I took those words to heart, despite my usual cynicism. Even as my high school friends drifted away from me over the years, and the stresses of moving out and living a lone mountain, I continue to believe in them.
I mean, when I was a high school student, I really like all of my friends there. But when I started to go to college, it feels like all of my friends in college are very much different from me compared to high school.
Then came today. The meeting with the advisor was never going to go well. Academic probation isn't a term thrown around in good circumstances.
Yikes. I'm very sorry to hear that because me once I have never failed any of my classes.
Even with all that, a 1.2 GPA was a surprise. 5 whole credits.
I really don't know how the academic system works in other countries, but 1.2 GPA, I don't know about that grade.
After cruising through school before college, it feels like a bad joke when I repeat his coldly delivered words in my head. My heart sinking, I finally closed the door behind me. A chapter of my life closes with it.
Wow, this is a very sad story, but interesting as well. Walking by the bike prop up against a wall, I shiver from the chill of fall running through my apartment. The practically non-existent insulation does little to keep the cold out, nor the noise. Without a roommate to share the space with, there's little to hear but the occasional passing traffic. Well, whenever you live in an apartment, of course, the only thing that you're going to hear is just the traffic noise. I hardly mind. Solitude is more comfortable anyway. Unfortunately for me, that same silence makes me focus all the more on my failure. Oh my goodness. Whenever you live alone, you really need to have someone to be accompanied with, because whenever you are currently in a brink of failure, you really need someone to talk to or to vent with. Upon reaching the living room, I simply stop. It's not like this should be out of the left field. I had stopped checking my grades on the school website, knowing full well that the hours eaten up by work would take their toll. Between working late and studying early, it's all I could do to not fall asleep during the lectures. I mean, there are people who try to work while studying, but working while studying is a really difficult thing to do because you don't know which one to focus on, like your work or your studies. As for me, I have experienced something like a working student, but I tried to work in the easiest job there is, like the convenience stores. Denial. That's all it was. Now it's caught up to me, and I have no real way out. What do I do now? For all I have tried to avoid burdening my mom, neither of us could possibly afford another semester or so of college if I failed out. I mean, that's rough because when it comes to academics, it's hard to say how intelligent a person is. But the experience the character is having right now, it's relatable to many people. I shuffle to the kitchen counter and grab a glass of water to calm my nerves. Yeah, that's good. Water therapy works. With little else available to distract myself from what I should be doing, I step over to the fern on the sill and slowly drizzle the pebbles around it with water. I'm surprised it's still alive after all this time, having bought it when I moved here. Managed to take care of the plant. It feels like a bad consolation prize, given everything else I've messed up. I mean, it's still a success because you were able to take care of the plant though. Just like your grade, you can still manage to get a good score as long as you do it little by little. All I can do is sigh and appreciate the chance to wind down a little by caring for the thing. With the soil darkened and leaves shining from the drops of water, I put down the glass and fall back onto the couch. Might as well get this over with. I fish the phone and navigate to my mom in the contact list. Are you going to call your mom? Then I press the call button. Wow, you're really calling your mom, but why? Anxious seconds go by as it rings before she finally picks up.
Hello?
Hello, Mom?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Olive. How's it going?
I just got back from talking to my advisor.
What did he say?
Her cheery tone drops a little. She must have heard the defeat in my own voice.
I have a 1.2 GPA. Only 5 credits.
I feel like I'm deflating as I sink further into my couch. I thought I'd be scared or frustrated at how bad this is, but that's worn off and became a dull emptiness.
Oh, honey.
Wow, from the voice of this person's mom, she's really caring. The last tone of voice I wanted to hear was that sweet, concerned voice. Yeah, let's go. It'd be so much easier if she just yelled at me, a sentiment I've thought more than once. I mean, it differs to a person what kind of tone of voice you wanted to hear from your parents, either a concerned one, cheerful one, or a angry one.
It's okay. This doesn't mean the end. I know someone as smart as my Ollie can find a way.
Thanks, Mom.
If I pulled off a decent GPA and passed all my classes and managed full credits for them, I'd still end up short. He did try to give me some options, but...
I mean, this is a good thing about advisors or teachers in college or in university, because whenever a student is going to fail, they'll try their best just to make them pass because they have hopes for them.
See, there you go.
I don't know if they'll do any good, Mom. It's an intro art class and a creative writing class. He even said they're basically filler.
I mean, it's still a choice for you to do just to pass.
It sounds like it's something you should try, don't you think? You could easily tackle either of those.
I've never been good at that kind of stuff. You know that.
Like, if it is your first time hearing those kinds of tasks, you could just ask this advisor of yours and ask for advice or tips because you really don't know how to start.
You can only give your best shot. I think that's more than enough.
That is true. Wise words from a parent.
You've been through harder trials in your life, and you've overcome those, and you're so much stronger for it. What this means is that there's hope.
Exactly. There's hope for everything. Hope. I really wish I could believe her on that one. This is one hell of a long shot. I did fine in topics like science and math back in high school, but I never had an inkling of creativity. The art scene is also the last place I'd want to be anywhere near. I mean, are you so bad at art? Passing one of the 2 courses should give me barely enough credits to pass. Barely understates things. That's true. Like, you just have to get a decent score and pass. Like, you don't have to work yourself just to get a high score and make someone proud. Like, you should be proud of yourself. Then again, a pass is a pass, and skipping a semester isn't an option financially. Mom would doubtlessly do her best to help cover the cost, a fact that puts a knot in my stomach. That is true. Like, this kid is really caring for his or her mother. One thing as well, I really don't know if this person is a he or a she. All this is just trying to rationalize away one simple fact. She's right. That is true.
I'll do my best. Sorry for putting you through this.
Honey, you don't need to apologize. I know there's a lot going on. I know you're doing what you can. You always have me on your side. Your advisor wants you to succeed too. That's why he gave you this option. I know you can do this.
Yep, just like what I said earlier.
I'll see you at work in a couple of days. We can talk about this more there, okay? I know it's easier said than done, but try not to stress yourself out too much about all this.
That is true. Whenever you have any kinds of concern, the first person you should talk to is your parents.
Maybe you can make yourself something to take your mind off things. It's nearly dinner time after all, so make something nice for yourself.
Like, do I even have the money to make something good? It's a better solution than drowning my worries in some greasy fast food. As much I'd love to take the easy way out of any additional responsibilities tonight.
Alright. I'll try. See you.
I mean, what is a good food to try whenever you are depressed? Like, whenever I am depressed, I always eat ice cream.
Bye, Olive. I love you. Just remember that tomorrow's another day.
That is true. Like, if you fail something in the past, you can still make it up for it for the tomorrow.
Love you too.
With that, the line goes dead. The big moment is over. I rest the phone on the coffee table before me. Starting tomorrow, I have all of 1 week to decide on one of the two classes. A class that will decide whether I get to college education or stay stuck in this rut for probably the rest of my life. All I have to do is pass an art or an English class to do it. I mean, if I'm going to pick one of them, I'm much more going for the English one. Like, I'm not very good in English, but I'm quite decent at it. As the silence of the apartment starts gnawing at the back of my mind, I decide to get up and start preparing that dinner to distract myself. What are you going to cook? I wonder. Ooh! Prologue. Via thread. Okay, so those are the characters that I'm going to meet after. The next day. Today marks the beginning of the experiment. The drop period for classes ends next week, and so, at my advisor's suggestion, I've signed up for both of the art and English lessons. The plan is to sit in on both, decide which is best for me, and drop the other. I only need one to survive, and I'd rather not stuff my already full schedule any more than I have to. So here I am, sitting in art class. I've gone back and forth on this all day, oscillating between I don't have an ounce of creativity. There's no way I can do this, and it's just a drawing, right? Could it be so hard?
And from there, we will cover the Futurist movement, which after its founding in 1909...
I thought this is art class. Why am I learning history? I think I've settled on there's no way for now. Try as might to take proper notes. I have no idea what I'm writing down.
Psst.
A movement in the corner of my eye and a small chirpy voice beside me aren't helping. The thing in my peripheral vision is shoved further into view. Glancing over shows it to be an open notebook, which I tried to tune out. What is this? It's so blurry. The notebook slides back and forth in response, tapping on my own book as I try to write. Grimacing only spurs them on. Now sure that they have my attention, what do they want from me? Why is it so blurry? I can't even read that. I slightly slap my hand down on the paper, stopping their movements. Far from being discouraged, the culprit beams back at me as I glance over. Oh my goodness, hello! Wow, you're cute. Cast against the window beyond her, the girl smiles cheerfully. The two of us couldn't look more different as I stare warily at her, the sun behind her paling in comparison to her own bright nature. Wow. Whoa. She's cute and she's bright. She gives me a thumbs up of encouragement, earning a bemused furrowed brow. I might as well humor her at this point. What's this? Hey, you look pretty lost. Are you doing okay? You need some help? I raise my tired eyes back to the author, only for her to resume her thumbs up pose. Is she genuinely interested in helping or just making fun of me? I mean, I think she wants to help. Just trying to focus. Would it be too rude to add that she's only making it harder? Oh my goodness, this is so old school. Like, this is how we usually talk in class. Like, we just use our notes. Like, then our parents are going to be mad at us after. I decide against it and slide it back. Yeah, I know it's hard. This guy teaches it so boring. But listen, I know all about this stuff. I can help you if you want. Ooh, really? I look at my syllabus on my desk in front of me, full of names and terms and concepts I know nothing about. This class isn't just drawing at all. It covers everything from art history to social movements. My heart sinks at the sheer breadth of knowledge that will be needed. The professor's droning lecture is soon lost on me as my attention wanders to her notebook. Though she's dedicated the full page to this conversation, I can make out various notes about art bleeding through the back of the page, even if the handwriting is hard to decipher. I mean, it's not that hard to decipher because I can clearly see her writing. My eyes drifting further, I notice another book sitting on her desk, an open sketchbook this time. Its pages covered with drawings of this and that. That's in addition to the doodles in the notes she's been passing me. I mean, her doodle is cute. I'll be fine. Okay, sure. This class must be perfect for someone like her.
Yes!
Whoa! Quiet down, we're in class! Upon reading my note, she suddenly shouts aloud in excitement. All I can do is freeze as the attention of the entire class, including the professor, is instantly drawn to her. Ah, my goodness. I'm in trouble now.
Caprice, is there something you need?
The only thing that I can do in this matter is just keep quiet and try to ignore her. Like, I don't know anything, professor. His pronounced sigh make it all too obvious that he knows this particular student altogether too well.
Just excited and ready to learn. Is there something you need?
I need you to stay quiet while I'm talking. That's okay with you.
All I can say is that all of the voice actors in this game are so good.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, it's really lively. She gives an exaggerated salute, which seems to satisfy him. There are a few quiet giggles around the class, not that she seems to care. She turns and sees me watching, which prompts her to give yet another thumbs up. And after a moment's scribbling, to give yet another note in the corner of her page. What's it written there? Let's talk after class. I know just how to help you. I'm Caprice, by the way. Ooh, that's a nice doodle. She sighs the note, though I've already caught her name from the professor saying it. I figure I might as well reply one last time. Thanks, I'm Olive. I have no idea the kind of person I've just agreed to talk to. Is she normally the type to pass notes and shout out during class? The last time I remember communicating like this is elementary school. The rest of the class goes by uneventfully. For better or worse, I try my best to take notes and follow along, but by the end, the professor's rambling and tangents ends up overwhelming me. Yeah, I didn't understand the professor as well. Like, why am I learning history? Isn't this supposed to be art class? Before I can even leave the room, I'm accosted by my new acquaintance. I had planned on awaiting for her outside the door.
Olive, right? Olive?
Yes, that's me.
That's right.
I'm Caprice. Nice to finally talk.
She extends a hand, which I take. Her shake is surprisingly firm and fast, my arm being yanked around the slight figure before me.
Yeah, so...
So, listen. I'm the president of the art club here on campus.
Oh wait, you're the president of the art club? Like, my life is going to be easy now because the president of the art club approached me, and I think my grade is going to be 100% pass.
Well, not the art club, but one of the art clubs. The better one. Forget about that other one.
You mean to say there are other art clubs? Like, how many are there?
In fact, forget I mentioned it. There's only one art club, and it's mine.
Okay, thanks for clarifying. Oh no.
And you see, we're looking for members. Any level of skill will do. The best way to learn art is to work alongside your peers.
Like, do you see any potential on me about art?
Hey.
So if you're looking for help, there's really no better way than to join our art club. We're all pretty much good artists who can definitely teach you anything you need to know.
Okay, thank you very much.
I can even offer you personal lessons. That's a generous offer from the club president, you know.
I mean, there's only one question though. Like, why are you doing this to me? Are there any other people who needs a helping other than me? I have to stop this. I'm not looking for a club or anything like this.
Thank you, but I think I'll pass.
Whoa, I wasn't even given an option in here.
Oh no.
She retreats a step back, hands clasped together.
I came on too strong. I'm sorry. Don't worry about all that stuff I said. I do think we could help you, though.
I appreciate the offer, really, but I just don't think...
I'm not asking you to join. Just maybe come by sometime.
I mean, I could just drop by.
Oh, I know. I'll set up a club meeting for you to scope out. I'll let the others know to expect you once we can decide on a date. No strings attached.
Oh my goodness, like you're already planning? Like, do I even have a word for this?
I think you'd fit right in.
I can already tell she won't relent until I give in. I sigh. She's not going to let me go until I offer some kind of compromise.
Okay, sure. I'll give it some thought.
I think I pronounced that wrong. It's probably should have been compromise.
Awesome! Trust me, it'll be great. Anyway, I gotta go. See you around, Olive.
Okay, see you, Caprice. She's a good girl. She pats me on the shoulder and runs out, leaving me in her dust. If I don't go, she'll definitely confront me about it next class. I'm not looking for a club to join though, and I'd rather not deal with someone so high energy. Maybe just sitting in won't hurt? I'll worry about this later. I've got places to get to as well. Are we going to an English class? The next day. Are you serious? Okay, sure. Where am I? Am I in a restaurant? The afternoon shift at the diner has proven to be a slow one, much to my relief. Oh, I'm working as a helper in a diner. Okay, I see. So this is your work. I mean, this work is good. Like, you don't have to stress yourself out about this work. With mom off for the day and the rest of the staff otherwise unavailable, I find myself idly flipping through my art textbook at an empty booth. The contents are overwhelmingly compared to what I expected from a class like this, and I have to constantly remind myself that courses like this typically rely on participation and effort more than anything. Still hard to not stress out about it as my eyes glaze over foreign terms and information though. The small chime of the bell pulls me out of my trance as a customer sneaks through the door without me noticing. I bounce to my feet to greet her, trying my best to hide how off guard I feel.
Hey, welcome to the Bell House. Party at 1?
I go to retrieve a menu for the woman as she turns to meet me.
3, actually. My roommates should be in shortly. They're just wrapping up a conversation out in the car.
Got it. Booth it is then. Right this way.
I take a few steps further into the diner, ready to lead her to a spot near the back, only to make it a couple of feet before a voice interrupts my train of thought.
Hey Millie, catch!
She turns back around towards the entrance of the diner, handily catching a small keyring sent flying towards her. It takes a moment to get my eyes on the picture, a woman in orange and yellow seeming to be the culprit, and behind her... Oh no! That's Caprice. Like, why? Caprice! This is awkward. There's no other way to rationalize this other than some sort of divine level prank, as the leader of the art club from yesterday is the last to enter that tiny space. Much to my despair, she seems to recognize me as quickly as I recognized her. No! This is awkward. This is embarrassing. Don't look at me.
It's you!
Like, this is just from an experience. Whenever you are trying to work in a part-time job like a convenience store or a diner, try not to have your classmates come over because it's so embarrassing to serve them. I'm not embarrassed, but it's still awkward to see them in your job.
It's me.
I feel like I'm missing something.
Oh, right. Haley, Millie, meet the newest art club member. Olive, I'm pretty sure their name was.
Like, I'm not even part of the club yet though.
Pleased to meet you, Olive.
Her smile looks sincere, which makes the short pause beforehand even more concerning.
She got you roped into this without even having your name down yet?
She got it right on her first go, at least. I'm not in the club yet, though. Just testing the waters.
It's only a matter of time.
I don't think so.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
Wanting nothing more than to be done with this interaction, I spin myself around and start making my way to the back of the diner, beckoning them to follow. It's hard to not notice Millie glanced at the textbook I had left out as the trio passed it by. The three shuffle in, Caprice and Millie on the opposite sides, Haley opting to follow in after Millie. After I pass them their menus and pretend to look busy by wiping down a nearby table, the three makes idle chatter as they talk about our offerings. I'd like to say I wasn't eavesdropping, but the truth is simply that they don't end up saying anything interesting. It's not long before they settle on their orders: loaded fries for Caprice, a chicken sandwich for Millie, and a breakfast platter for Haley. The latter is a bit annoying to prep at this hour, but it's nothing I'm not used to at this point. I mean, that's one thing you need to do at your job. You just have to get used to it. I carefully sit each plate in front of its intended recipient. The fries gives me a bit of a scare with a near spill, but Caprice helps save the dish in the nick of time.
Enjoy. Just speak up if you need anything else.
It smells great. Thank you.
With a small wave, I leave them to their meals, taking my seat back at my textbook a couple booths over. Oh my goodness, is this art history? I really don't like this kind of thing. My eyes continue to glaze over the writing and images. The entire book is nothing but jumbled mess to me. It's more a logical approach to the arts, contradicting the hands-on approach of the class. To relieve the strain from my eyes, I occasionally glance up at the diner's current guests. Mill is quick to steal a fry or two, with Caprice matching her roommate's tripping by taking a fork full of hash brown from Haley's plate. The laughter and the back and forth you'd expect from stuff like this is more subdued than you'd expect, but they seem to be enjoying themselves. And then Haley spots me. Oh my goodness. I just look at Haley and she's really looking at me. I try to avert my eyes back down to my book and feign ignorance, but it's too little too late.
Hey, whatever your name was.
Busted.
Olive. Hi.
Sure, let's go with that.
With Miles glancing over Caprice's shoulder and Caprice's head spun around, it looks like I'm not getting out of this. With a resigned sigh, I stand up and approach their booth again.
Don't suppose this is just you asking for a refill?
Awkward speaking, because I really don't want them to say anything about why are you looking at us. Haley seems to consider it for a moment, glancing down her half-empty cup before deciding against it.
Maybe in a bit. Just figured you wanted to chat with you staring longingly at us like that.
Caprice and Millie share a glance. Internally, I cringe. Thanks for wording it precisely like that, Haley. I have known you for approximately 5 minutes and I already feel like hiding away forever.
Sorry, that textbook was giving me a headache and there's not much else to look at in here.
I mean, there's a lot to look at the ketchup, at the table, at your kitchen, even outside.
Studying at work is impressive, though. You must really be invested in the art class already, huh?
I'm not invested. I'm just trying to make a thing out of it.
Not at all, sorry to say. I've actually got another class tomorrow as a backup plan, in case the art one doesn't work out.
That is true. We still have the English one.
Oh, really? What kind of class, if you don't mind me asking?
Huh? Just intro to creative writing. Some small filler thing.
What?
Caprice slams both her hands on the table in shock, her head quickly turning between Millie and I. Her reaction combined with a sudden grin from Millie has me an indescribable level of terrified.
Well, today's just full of coincidences. I happen to be the leader of the writing club on campus. We have our first meeting of the semester tomorrow afternoon if you're interested.
That is interesting. Like, both of the art and writing club leaders are here. That's just really coincidental. She retrieves her wallet, pulls out a small business card, and scribbles a room number and time on the back before passing it over to me.
If the art club doesn't work out for you, I'd be more than happy to help however I can with your writing course.
Okay, thank you very much.
Wait. Olive, the writing class is going to be a real challenge. If we're thinking of the same one, Millie took it last semester and I swear I saw her writing 8-page papers every other week.
What? 8-page papers? Wow, you really love long writing, huh? I had already been nervous about how tomorrow was going to go, and that definitely doesn't help matters.
You're exaggerating. Besides, that textbook Olive was poring over didn't look like much of a pleasant experience either.
I can't argue that point.
I can! I've had the same professor in another class. We'll hardly ever use the book. Either way, a little bit of studying and some doodling is a heck of a lot easier than what you went through.
Says the woman spending days at a time stressing about inspiration and color composition.
Caprice glances daggers into what I had assumed to be her friend, a far cry from her smile yesterday. Millie pretends not to notice, going back to her sandwich after I tucked the card away in my back pocket. I turn to Haley, looking for some kind of explanation. I am met with a raised glass, and the half-melted ice clanking against it as she shakes it around.
Lemon line. Thanks.
Sure.
Coming right up.
This is an interesting story so far. The next day. Okay, so this is probably writing class. I have to be honest, I really hate writing. I'm so bad at writing. People don't know. The writing class ran longer than I would have liked. The professor definitely belongs in that course with a clear love of language and words. A lot of words. Yeah, when it comes to writing, you really have to learn a lot of vocabulary and grammar, which I really don't like, but here I am speaking English. The syllabus didn't enter our hands until 10 minutes after the estimated end of class, and the rigorous requirements listed on it didn't make me feel any better. Given Millie's experience in the class, I want to go into the club today feeling optimistic, but in truth, neither leader has done a spectacular job of selling me so far. Room 26A, 5:15 p.m. I mindlessly turn the card over in my hands a few times as I navigate the halls of the building. Like, am I looking for 26A? Judging by the advertisement for a car repaint shop on the front, it's probably some trash she had yet to throw away before she handed it off to me. The information at the back is a lot more useful to me at the moment. I'm on the right floor at this point at least. Now it's just a matter of finding the right door. The only thing unusual in this hall is lanky guy fidgeting nervously outside of one of the rooms, the club room, as it so happens.
Huh? Oh!
Given by the way he jumps back, it seems my presence has gone unnoticed. Hey! Getting a decent look at his face, something feels familiar, but I can't quite place it. His widened eye seems to imply he's come to a similar sort of conclusion.
Olive? Olive Penn?
Do I know you?
Yeah, that's me. And you're...
We shared a few classes back in high school. I don't blame you if you don't remember. I go by Darren now. Darren Baker.
Oh, so he went to the same high school as me before. It's not until he offers a feeble handshake that I realize who I'm talking to. We weren't super close or anything, but having a friend of any kind around after a little over a year of solitude is enough to get a smile out of me.
I remember. Don't worry. You're looking good.
Like, this person doesn't even look like we went to the same high school because he has a beard.
And you're looking the same as ever. Glad to see college hasn't changed you much.
Well, I think I might be overdue for a little change, honestly.
I end my greeting with a small chuckle to play it off, which seems to satisfy him as he retains his smile. If only he knew the half of it. As much as I'd like to do a bit of catching up and continue avoiding the matter at hand, I'm becoming more and more aware of how late I am running.
Anyway, are you here for the writing club too?
I glance down at the card to triple check the details before returning my attention to him. He gives a dejected nod without so much as even glancing at it.
Yeah. That was the plan, at least.
Something up?
It's just more crowded than I was imagining it. Lots of noise and talking over each other. I poked my head in for a second, and that was enough.
Yeesh. Yeah, I can't blame you.
It's good to hear that it's active at least. I can definitely sympathize with Darren's situation, and it's a sentiment I'd echo in any other scenario, but sidestepping it is out of the question. I've already committed to checking out the Caprice Club, so at this point it's better to get as many options as I can.
Well, wanna check it out together? I haven't been looking forward to it much either, to be honest. But having a friend there would help. No pressure though.
I fully expect him to turn down the offer, not being shackled to the obligation like me, but instead his face lights up.
No, it's fine. Sounds good to me.
As soon as the door opens, the noise Darren warned me about becomes obvious. The corners of my mouth already felt heavy, but that's only intensified as I discovered the source of the squabbling. Oh my goodness, who are these people? In the back of the room is a small group of people talking among themselves, scurrying through the counters for supplies. The lone woman sitting at one of the desks is entirely silent, tapping away on her phone as noise assaults her from both sides of the room. And in the front is Caprice arguing with Millie. Like, why is Caprice here?
It sure is convenient that you picked today to do this.
It has to be today. There's hardly any time left to get all of this sorted.
You couldn't even wait a couple hours?
If you just signed the papers, we'd be out of here in 15 minutes, tops.
The two continued back and forth a bit longer before suddenly stopping and swiveling their heads as the door fully opens to reveal myself and Darren.
Oh, what a coincidence.
You knew I was coming. You heard Millie offer as much yesterday.
That didn't necessarily mean you'd show up. I thought for sure you wouldn't have bothered.
I can say that Caprice really wants me to join her club. That's why she's here. Millie seems eager to respond, but instead just stands there silently fuming. The threat of the retort almost scares me more than if she had actually chosen to speak up. Caprice seems unfazed by her friend's body language and instead turns her attention to the back of the room.
Hey, you guys! This is Olive, the person I was telling you about.
Like, what is this room anyway? Is this the writing club room or the art club room? The woman glued to her phone doesn't react, but the four in the back turn around to face us. Having just a couple sets of eyes on me is enough to make me want to shrink away into my vest, let alone 6.
Oh, hi. I'm Allison. Nice to meet you. Caprice has told us a bunch about you already.
Okay, nice to meet you, Allison. A small pause seems to imply that's the end of that interaction, much to my relief. Okay, Allison is a small talker. Allison bumps her elbow into the arm of the woman beside her. That's a okay. Allison bumps her elbow into the arm of the woman beside her, which unfortunately seems to be enough to keep it going. 100% I didn't notice that the one next to Allison is a woman. Sorry.
Yeah, good seeing you. We're a bit busy now, though.
Okay, nice to meet you, Eileen. And with that, she turns back around and continues piling miscellaneous colored papers and craft supplies under her arm. With a small sigh, Alice resumes her work as well. Is this the art club? Confident she's not going to be getting any more out of the two, Caprice focuses her attention to another pair of students. A tall and intimidating man casually leaning on the countertop and a stern-faced woman watching intently as Eileen and Allison pick away at the supplies.
The big guy's Wallace,
Okay, nice to meet you, Wallace.
our newest member, excluding you.
Honestly, Wallace seems to be like a teacher.
And the last one?
She's not with us.
Oh, she's in the writing club? A surprising amount of venom in that response. More than I think Capri's capable.
And thank goodness for that.
And why is that?
Name's Tanya. Thanks for asking. I'm with the writing club. Millie told me you'd be coming today. Didn't mention there being two of you, though.
On that note,
Having had enough of this distraction, Millie makes her way back behind the desk at the front. She pulls out a pen and swiftly jots down her signatures before beckoning Caprice over to retrieve the paper from her.
here's my signature as assurance that I'll finish filling out the form after the meeting if it makes you feel better. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to actually have a meeting today, so I would appreciate it if you hurried up your pillaging.
Caprice opens her mouth ready to protest, then decides better of it. She gives the contents of the paper a quick skim. It must satisfy her as she joins her clubmates in the back of the room.
Anyway, come in, you two. I was expecting Olive, but it's nice to see someone else joining us today as well. My name's Millie. Nice to meet you.
She extends her hand towards Darren, who reluctantly takes it.
Darren. Hi.
With a small shake and a smile, she ushers us to a pair of desks, then makes her way up to the front of the room. She shuffles around her bag looking for some sort of reference material.
You've got quite the fan club, huh?
The sound of my forehead hitting the desk is louder than any kind of argument Caprice and Millie could have. A sharp clearing of the throat from the front of the room is enough to drag my gaze back up. I breathe slowly.
With all of that finally out of the way, it's time to begin the first writing club meeting of the semester. Welcome.
Thanks for having us, I guess. Front and center of the room, open book in hand, Millie definitely gives off a natural kind of a teacher vibe.
This club's one of the oldest in the school, so we have a lot to live up to. Tanya introduced herself already. She's been helping me keep things moving for a while now. The talkative girl is Heather.
Okay, Heather, I see. Oh, that's Heather. Okay, giving up on her phone for the distractions, Heather finally sets it down and gives a disinterested wave in response to Millie's equally lukewarm introduction of her.
So, it's not typically this busy?
Heather smirks, though it's hard for me to gauge why.
Oh no, I'm so sorry about the bad first impression. Things are typically a lot quieter.
I don't even need to turn my head to imagine the look of Capri's face. I brace for a response, but oddly enough, it never comes. While I'm sure the news is a relief to Darren, I can't help but deflate a little. It's my fault for getting my hopes up, but even I expected more than 3 people. Granted, Capri's 4 isn't exactly a huge improvement.
Don't let the size fool you, though. What we lack in quantity, we make up for in quality. Here, look at this.
She approaches Darren and I once again, passing him the book she was holding just moments prior. I lean in to catch a glimpse and I am met with chicken scratch, a lot of it. There's more ink than paper, and the trend continues as Darren flips a few pages.
The club can be a great source of inspiration and technical know-how if you'll allow it. I filled up this entire notebook and a couple others just in my first semester here.
Wow, you're smart.
And how many pages have you filled out recently?
The smirk from earlier has yet to fade, and as the matter of fact has only gotten bigger with her new remark. A grumble from the back of the room, from Wallace if I had to guess based on the tone, follows shortly after.
Plenty, thank you. The club's recent downsizing hasn't had any influence on that.
Yikes. Even with the rest of her club, all 2 of them not really winning me over, the work Millie has displayed is impressive. At the very least, I feel like I could confidently rely on her, which is a plus, that is true.
Millie knows her stuff, I'll admit
Whoa!
that. But there's only so much one person can do.
Like, why are you here, Caprice? I jump a bit in my seat, throwing my head around to find Caprice standing over mine and Darren's shoulder, eyeing the contents of the notebook herself.
All I'm saying is that the art club, the entire club, would be able to help you. Unlike the writing club, our little circle looks out for each other.
Are you serious? All of them are here as well. Don't you guys have any club or something to do?
Don't drag us into this.
Too late for that.
Without averting her gaze from the cabinets in Nards, Eileen manages to swiftly shut him down.
Bold of you to hype your club up like that, given you didn't even bother to finish the paperwork to legitimize it in time for the fair.
I've got a set of keys for a room and a bunch of like-minded artists. Being recognized as official would just be a nice bonus.
I'm pretty sure I have a pair of keys that you commandeered for yourself.
Hey, whose side are you on here?
Pepper's explosion is met with a small smile from Allison and even smaller smirk from Eileen. They don't seem to be taking this seriously, which honestly may be a point in their favor.
Thank you for offering to share your space, by the way, Millie. We appreciate it, even if Caprice won't say so.
Wait, offering to share your space, by the way? Are you saying that both the art and the writing club share the same room?
Come on, not you too.
You're very welcome, Allison.
Millie has a genuine talent for mixing sincerity and underlying smugness almost perfectly.
Anyway, if you're all done chatting it up, we're gonna need you out of here soon. We were promised 15 minutes and you've already used up 5 of them.
Yeah, we're going. Just give us a few minutes to finish grabbing everything.
Wanna help us out, new kid?
Why should I help? Eileen continues her work, not bothering to turn around as she addresses me, likely for the best given the mutual surprise on Caprice and I's faces.
Huh?
Like, seriously, why am I supposed to help? Like, I'm just here just to listen to some writing stuff.
If you're being dragged into the group, you may as well start getting used to it sooner rather than later.
What? No! I was gonna bring them to an actual club meeting. Show them the best we had to offer. I had plans.
Really now? I didn't expect Caprice to object before me. Eileen merely shrugs in response.
I also haven't really committed one way or another.
I've heard that one before. 3 times, actually.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Like all 3 of them got dragged by Caprice's persuasion.
Jeez, what did I do to earn all this sass today? To be betrayed like this, time and time again, it's more than my poor heart can take.
Are you sensitive? Caprice cranes her neck back and places a hand on her forehead in the display of theatrics, prompting a couple of smiles out of Allison and Wallace, far cries from the smirk that seems permanently glued to Heather's face. The thought of Heather is enough to remind me of my current situation, and I snap back to focus my attention on Millie and Darren. The latter seems content to keep paging through Millie's notebook as a means of staying out of the conversation, but Millie is obviously trying very hard to hide her transparent frustration with a smile.
It's fine. It'll get them out of the room faster and we'll have time to catch up after you're done. Win-win, right?
She couldn't sound more disappointed if she tried, and boy, is she trying. I don't want to flake on Millie or Darren, given I willingly put myself in here with them, but at the same time, it'll only be a few minutes and they'll tell me way more about the art club than a fully planned and rehearsed meeting would. It's non-committal for now either way, so I guess it isn't a big deal, but it's hard not to feel anxious about it. What should I do? Offer to help, stay put, a chance to learn about them, for better or worse. What am I supposed to do? Offer to help or stay put? Like, I really want to have my grades up, so of course I'm going to do everything I can, so I'm just going to offer to help. Oh, that's Capri's route. Okay, stay put is Millie's route. Which one should I choose though? Like, first off, Caprice is a really interesting girl, and Millie, I don't know anything much about her, so probably I just want to have a good time, so let's just go with offer to help. Okay, So the reason why I want to offer to help, because I really want to know more about Caprice. Like, she's the first person to approach me, and Millie's just the same thing as Caprice. So I'm just going to go with the first one. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go. Offer to help. I second guess myself for a moment, but I eventually pull myself up out of my seat. Millie doesn't say anything, but the frown on her face says more than enough. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, Millie.
Like you said, it'll just be a few minutes. Win-win, right?
Yikes. She responds with a faint nod and even fainter smile, pushing her disappointment as far to the back of her mind as possible as she turns her attention to Darren. Yeah, keep her company, Darren. Sorry. I wish it helped me feel less guilty about things. As I approach back of the room, Tanya takes notice and starts making her way from the group. As we pass each other, she gives me a couple taps on the shoulder. Thank you for comforting me, Tanya.
Hopefully, they'll stay in line if they have a newbie to impress. Good luck.
I mean, why are they focusing on me? Like, there's Darren. And with that, she takes her spot next to Darren and Millie as I shuffle to the back of cabinets.
Howdy.
Hello, howdy as well.
Hi.
Open that cabinet there. We need any printer paper and glue you can get your hands on. The proper stuff, not sticks.
Why am I being an errand person? About as warm of a welcome as I can expect. I do as she says, pulling the doors open to reveal a handful of office supplies, in contrast to the various fabrics and colored paper they have amassed into a pile of countertops.
Thank you for the help, Olive. Even if they're small, setting up 2 tables for the club fair is a lot of work.
It's fine. 2 tables, though?
Millie's sharing her space with us, so we're helping with the writing club setup too. Fair's fair.
Caprice is quick to jump in, eager to not give Allison time to form a more generous response, surely. The relationship between Caprice and Millie is so strange. It's like they're fluctuating on how friendly they are with each other on a sentence-by-sentence basis. Even their actions are inconsistent.
So, don't take this the wrong way, but why help us out here anyway? You came here for the writing club, right?
I mean, that is true. I don't know why. He tries to make it sound like casual conversation, continuing to dig supplies out and adding them to the already rather large pile as she asks, but the tone of her voice betrays that pretty handedly.
Well, Caprice mentioned getting your club together when we met in class the other day. I figured this might be better than forcing all of you to go out of your way for me.
Aw, see? They'd be a perfect fit.
Allison smiles reinforces Caprice's statement and forces me further into the cabinet to hide my blush.
Well, I'm glad you accepted my invitation because we've got things to discuss.
Uh-huh.
That's definitely up there on the list of most intimidating ways to open a conversation.
Allison was right. Caprice has told us a bunch about you already. Standard stuff. Flunking out, hoping to use the club as a lifeline.
Whoa! I emerged from the cabinet tossing a couple stacks of unopened printer paper onto their stockpile. Eileen's face remains unchanged as she continues sorting through her own mess.
I hope she said more than that.
She has. She talked about you being nice and hardworking, and being a good cook, though I'm still not entirely sure where that last part came from yet.
This is awkward. Should I tell them that I work at a diner? I shoot Caprice a glance whose only response is a sheepish smile. Oh my goodness, Caprice! You should not tell them that I work at a diner.
Yeah, sure, great, but none of that is relevant to the point I'm trying to get to. You're only going to get out of us as much as you're willing to put in. Don't expect any handouts, at least not from me.
Okay, sure. Right to the point, huh? I guess that's fair, as much as I doubt my ability to live up to the standard she seems to be expecting.
When did you get so soft, Eileen?
What? That's soft?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Allison pauses her rummaging for a moment to pat Eileen's back a couple of times. Eileen freezes upon the physical contact, but both resume their scavenging soon after.
Eileen may be scary, but she's right. As long as you put in the effort, everyone here will be more than happy to help. Right, guys?
Are they going to help or they're being forced to help?
Sure.
What was that? Sure! Like you're pretty much forced.
Well, if I can, I suppose. I'm not really great at drawing and stuff myself.
Better than where I'm at, I'm sure. I'd appreciate it.
Caprice shifts her eyes to Eileen to get her final confirmation. The silence hangs awkwardly for a few moments before Eileen pulls herself out of the cabinet and returns Caprice's glance.
Like I said, if they can prove they actually want to put in the effort, I'll help. But I'm not a charity case. If you're dragging them in, they're going to be your responsibility.
Oh, come on. It'll be a team effort.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about team effort though. It's a relief to hear that everyone will be willing to help at least a little, but I wish these two weren't so willing to try pawning me off to each other when I'm standing right here.
I'm capable of doing the work. I'm just trying to make sure the work I'm doing is good enough.
That sounds more than fair.
Here's hoping.
You really are playing softball today.
Eileen's grumbling from the cabinet signals the end of the conversation as the other club members resume their stockpiling efforts, Caprice opting to squeeze in next to me to double-check my work. I'm thankful to work in relative quiet after being grilled from the get-go, but at least I left that conversation roughly knowing where I stand with all of them, I think. With everyone focused on the task at hand, the pile of loose supplies starts looking hefty enough for the club to consider their job done, closing up the various cabinets and drawers as they organize the hall.
Sorry for dragging you along, Olive. Thanks for the help. See you at the fair, I hope?
Yeah, sure.
One way or another, I guess. I haven't settled on anything yet.
Like, I'm not going to lie, I really want to go for Caprice.
Yeah,
But
I know.
let's check out Melee
I'm positive
after.
you'll come around in the end, though.
We'll see.
Alright. Okay, Caprice optimism is high though. After forcibly dragging Wallace back to help with the heavy lifting, the art club files out. Tanya eager to close the door behind them. Like they really don't want to be disturbed by them anymore, huh? Their absence is immediately noticeable, the air feeling just a bit less chaotic. That typically comes as a relief, but the energy they carry as a group almost feels contagious. A thought that keeps coming to mind as I resume my conversation with Millie until the end of the meeting. Wow, that really took me some time, huh? Is this going to be the next day? Yep, the next day. Oh my goodness, this feels so real. Friday, every student's favorite day of the week. That is true because everybody likes Friday because Saturday and Sunday there's no class. The cafeteria feels so empty though. Perhaps it's my imagination, but even as I head into the cafeteria, the chattering of the people around me takes on a slightly happier tone than the days before. Like, what? Chattering of the people? Like, there are no people in here. As for me, my mind is still occupied with thoughts of club, classes, and my last-ditch gamble to survive the semester. My stomach grumbles, the smell of food from the tables only reminding me of my hunger. After skipping breakfast in my rush to get to school, I need something more than a cookie from the nearby cafe to get me through the day. The food here's nothing amazing, but I'm hardly picky. At least lunch will be a brief break from my worries, where I can forget... Oh my goodness, that's Caprice. Hey, Caprice!
Olive, hey!
So much for that. Caprice waves at me from one of the table. She has an uncanny knack for detecting my presence in a room. However crowded and busy it may be. Oh my goodness, this is the cafeteria. Don't tell me. Millie is here as well. I resign myself to my fate and take a seat as the woman next to her gives a small polite wave.
Hi, Olive.
Hey, Allison. The two make an odd contrast. Allison's shy, almost nervous greeting in stark difference to Capri's overabundant energy.
So, managed to survive Millie's lecturing after we left yesterday?
Okay, good. It's a good thing that Millie's not here.
It was pretty quiet and low-key. Nothing that extreme.
By quiet, you mean boring, right?
Hey. Okay, there's no need for you to rephrase that. Like, that was a little bit mean.
Hey now.
Yep, it was boring and terrible. The typical writing club MO.
Heather, you're supposed to be in the writing club. Why are you agreeing on this? Now Heather has appeared, which can only make things better. Even though she's decided to walk up and invite herself into our conversation, she doesn't seem all that interested in giving us her full attention. Engrossed in her phone as usual, she barely looks up to address us. Like, what are you even looking at your phone?
What?
Why are you angry, Caprice? Caprice is visibly annoyed, with Heather's only reaction being the corner of her mouth tugging upward. Heather's passion for pressing people's button doesn't stop with Millie, it seems.
Well, Olive, don't feel obligated to give them the time of day. We'll get you through the semester easy peasy. Right, Allie?
Yeah, of course.
I am so going to fail this semester.
Right again. The club is nothing more than a waste of space.
Hey! Nobody asked you!
What? We're agreeing, aren't we?
Heather managed to frustrate Caprice into silence, as impressive a feat as any. She seems to notice my bemused reaction, face suddenly rebounding into a grin.
I still owe you a proper meeting. You'll come, right?
How do I keep getting caught into these conversations?
We'll see.
And all the ones after that?
What do you mean all the ones after that? Like, aren't we just going to have a one meeting?
Well,
Great! I'll see you then. I gotta take care of some stuff for the fair. Bye, Allie!
She shoots Heather one last venomous look before hopping out of her chair, beginning to head out of the cafeteria.
What about food?
Already ate! Bye!
How odd. Must have just been keeping Allison company. Wait, what was that she mentioned about the fair? Before I can call out and clarify, Heather once again speaks up.
Why did you even come to our club when you were already playing house over with Mommy Caprice?
Allison takes to her feet and grimaces at the comment. I can't help but match her expression.
Please don't call her that.
Just keeping my options open.
This might be a good opportunity to help with that. I've got a member of each club in front of me, though not for long as Allison picks up her tray of food and slips it into a nearby counter. Heather looks unmoved by Allison and Caprice's abrupt departure. She takes a seat at the table next to me, barely looking up from her phone. Occasionally, she'll sip from the can of soda she brought with her. She doesn't seem particularly enthused by the writing club, so I figure she wouldn't spare the unpleasant details. That said, Allison does seem like the honest type. Even if she is more loyal, if I hurry, I can still catch her. Talk to Allison or Heather? I really don't like Heather, so of course I'm just going to talk to Allison. She needs some company. Heather's only half paying attention to me to begin with, so I quickly get up and skip over to Allison as she strides off. Wait for me, Allison! I have no intention of playing peacemaker, but it's striking how strong her feelings on the matters are.
Hey, Allison.
Allison turns to me, her frustration with Heather still simmering. She soon turns embarrassed at being caught fuming.
Hi. Sorry about Caprice running off.
No worries. She seemed busy anyway. Fair prep?
Yeah, we're all a bit behind schedule, so we've been kind of scrambling.
Oh my goodness. Like, Heather, just get out. You're just making things worse. Heather gives a dry ha as she overhears the last of our conversation before wandering off toward the food counter. Yeah, get out of here, Heather.
She's always so rude.
Like, that is true. I really don't like the character of Heather. Like, every single character that has that kind of personality, like, I'm not mad about it, but it's just that the way they speak about some people is just really makes me angry. Allison pulls her back as she walks away.
Do you interact with the writing club much? Outside of yesterday, I mean.
Every now and then. More lately with this fair stuff. Not like Heather's much of a club member, though.
What exactly is the club fair about? I saw it advertised earlier last year, too.
There's not much to it. A bunch of the school clubs set up in the gymnasium and try to recruit people. Mostly freshmen who haven't been poached yet. Millie offered to share her space, so we're sneaking in this year.
If you have a way to get new people like that, why is Caprice so dead set on recruiting me?
Yeah, true. Like, you're just going to try to recruit some other members though, like why me?
Caprice is really serious about the club. But you've probably noticed that already. Honestly, she's serious about everything she does.
But why recruit me?
She wants to get every person possible. A dream of hers is to grow and expand the club beyond even the huge existing one. And...
She trails off, suddenly going quiet as she thinks better of continuing.
And what?
To be honest with you, I prefer smaller groups. I'm fine with how things are.
Actually, I am the same because I really just want to have a small group than a big group because when you have a large group of people, it's hard to communicate with them one by one.
Nothing against you, though. You're free to join if you want. You'd love it, I'm sure. Everyone really is nice, and we have a lot of fun. Caprice is wonderful, too. I know she can be a little overbearing at times, but she always brings so much energy.
That is true. Like, whenever you feel like you're down, like Caprice is there. She really cheers you up.
A little too much, maybe.
Well, that's a given.
Sometimes, sure. I get it. When I first met her, I thought she was pretty overbearing. I wouldn't really fault you for thinking that.
She's good at what she does, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone there is. I'm still learning, but they're always teaching me new things. But I guess what's happening is...
She taps her finger to her chin, pausing to give her next words some thought.
Caprice wants us to be a legitimate club. A club that's official, real, whichever word you want to use. We aren't much of one right now.
Oh, that's why she wants to recruit me because without enough member, the club is not official.
We barely nudged our way into the fair. Even then, we kind of cheated to get there.
I mean, with the help of a professor, that's possible.
If I join, will that even change anything?
I don't know. It'd take more than one person, probably.
I mean, there's also Darren. Of course it would. More members would be helpful. But I wonder how many they'd even gain from an event like this. Then there's the fact that Allison here clearly doesn't want it. I wonder if I'd just be butting into some group of close friends more than joining a club.
Still, we're going to do our best. You should do what's best for you, too.
Thanks. Sorry for keeping you. I'll see you around.
Allison gives a quick goodbye before escaping out to try and catch up with Caprice. Okay, see you later, Allison. What I found might not have been what I have wanted to hear, but at least she was honest. Now, time to actually get some food. Alright, finally. Let me get some food. I quietly mull things over as I head to the food counter. The art club is close and friendly. They're small because it's like they're a group of friends trying to be a club. The writing club isn't much, but at least Millie seems capable and eager to help. It's probably better to not even consider Tanya and Heather as factors. That is true. Like when it comes to designing to join a club, you have to ignore the negative factors. Like you just have to think of the positive factors. Like if there's a person in a room where you really don't like, it doesn't mean that you're not going to into that room, but instead you're just going to into that room because you want to learn something in there. So disregard the fact of the negative factors. I'm not sure if either of the good option. Hopefully this club fair will help me find better answers. With class still some time ahead of me, I find myself wandering the halls, going over my choices in my head.
Hey.
Oh, whoa, Haley! Art, sign up now. I just about bumped into Haley, who is carrying some poster, board, and other materials.
Whoa. Hey, you need some help?
That seems heavy. Without answering, she subs some of her supplies in my direction, which I take. I already have a general idea of where she was heading.
The gymnasium, right?
Smart. Come on, you've been drafted.
What? He goes and I follow.
So, how'd the meeting go yesterday?
It was chaos.
You didn't hear about it?
Oh, I heard tons of things. But I'm interested in your perspective.
I would love nothing more than a 5-minute mental break from the Caprice and Millie war. Unfortunately, it looks like something I won't be able to avoid anytime soon.
Well, I'm not even entirely sure what happened. It felt like a sudden whirlwind.
Yeah, sounds like them.
Like they seem to be good friends in the diner though. As we enter the large building, I see that the area has been filled with tables. Arranged in rows, there are students running about, readying their boots.
Hey, where are we taking all this?
Over here.
Oh my goodness, the creative writing and the art are next to each other. Are you serious? I follow her to a table, or what's supposed to be a table anyway. Instead, I find two smaller booths cramped inside the same small space, covered in red and blue cloth. One has a very formal looking sign which reads creative writing. The other has a very slapdash sign simply reading art, clearly written by the same hand.
You get the rundown on how they're sharing a spot already?
Probably.
More or less. I remember them packing up a lot more than just a couple tablecloths and posters, though.
The art club is off turning all of that into brochures and other promo material for the two right now. This is all just bare bones stuff.
I'm surprised Millie trusts them enough to handle that.
Haley tucks her armful of supplies safely under the writing club's desk. I follow suit, emptying my hands as she lifts the clothes up for me.
Millie gets along well enough with all of them. It won't be an issue.
Could have fooled me.
Things are just complicated right now is all. You saw how they were at the diner.
Are you talking about their friendly small talk or them trying to poach me from each other?
Why not both?
That's why I called it complicated.
She brings a hand to her headphones, debating putting them over her ears. After a moment, she thinks better of it, deciding to instead lean lazily against the writing table.
You're committed at this point, right? You're gonna be picking one or the other?
Yeah, that's about as far as I've gotten in my thinking, though.
No particular feelings so far?
Actually, I have a feelings for the art club though. But for the creative writing, I want to hear more about Millie, but this is a predicament.
Ugh, tons of feelings. Most of them dread. It all sort of cancels each other out.
Well, good luck.
Sure.
Wait, what's up?
That was just Millie stuff. Gotta head over to the art room now.
Want me to come with you?
I've got it covered, thanks.
Once again, the headphones coming up signified the end of the conversation. Bye, Haley. She pulls herself up from the table and starts making her way past me without any further elaboration. It may be impossible to decipher Millie and Caprice's going-ons, but trying to get a read on their roommate is an entirely different experience. I debate sticking around to catch her again, but decide against it and make my way out of the auditorium, going out of my way to leave through the opposite doors. The next day. Yep. So predictable. Today marks a day so rare that I can't remember the last like it. Something so monumental. The full implications haven't yet settled in. A day without school, study, or work. Oh yeah, I forgot! Yesterday was Friday. Today is Saturday. Yes! The sizzling of bacon rings in my ear. It smells playing on my nose. With time on my hands for once, I've decided to start the day with a simple pleasure, the taste of eggs and bacon for a late breakfast. As I nudge the bacon with a spatula, I take a sip of the steaming coffee beside me. Unfortunately, my skills in cooking haven't translated to my skills as a barista, the concoction proving foul. If it weren't badly needed caffeine, I'd have tipped it out already. The little cactus sitting on my windowsill catches my eyes, my pride and joy. As embarrassing as that may be to admit, easy to take care of too.
Looks like you're doing better than me these days.
Good cactus. My words to the plant go unheard. Living alone isn't the easiest thing. Every chore, meal, and errand needs to be doing myself, after all, but it is comfortable. I can do things on my own schedule and eat at my own pace. Solitude might not be easy nor cheap, but it is simple. Pleased with the plant's quiet and unassuming company, I take another sip of my foul coffee. Man, I'm really such a bad barista, huh? Like I made bad coffee. A distant ping from the couch announces I received text. Considering how few people I know, it's either mom or work calling in to ask me to help cover a shift. Knowing which I prefer, I turn down the heat of the stove and walk over to pick up my phone. Is it mom? Oh, it's mom. Okay. Hover near the top or bottom to use mouse wheel to scroll through text. Unlike me, she had work today. I look at the time, not even noon yet. If she's texting me now, she's probably just getting off her opening shift. Ollie, are you home right now? 9:45 a.m. Oh, it's now. Yeah, what's up? Mind if I drop by for a bit? Maybe over lunch? Sure. Great. See you then. See you. Wow, that's a cool looking profile. She's fussing over me again, as she often does in quiet moments. It's hard not to notice this happening more often now that I'm living alone, though she's never outright admitted that. Not that it really matters. I cherish any free time we get to spend together, and it's not like I had anything in particular planned for the day ahead. Besides, she can probably lend some more insight. Mom sits at a small table. It's shabby, scuffed wood adorned with a small pastry box she's brought with her from the diner. It's a bit of a comfort to know that even living apart, she still brings extra treats for me. I'm thankful I had a light breakfast.
Honey, you really didn't need to cook for me. At least let me help.
Wow, her mom's looks so beautiful.
I was going to cook lunch for myself anyway. Whether it's for 1 or 2 people, doesn't make that much difference.
I carefully bring 2 plates over the kitchen counter, each loaded with chicken, vegetables, and rice. Despite her protest, Mom's eyes widen at the meals I sit placed before her, still steaming away.
This is better than having to cook for yourself. You deserve better than work food every other day anyway.
She smiles excitedly at the plates, shifting the box to the side.
It looks as good as it smells.
Thanks. So, how's work?
I take my seat next to her upon placing down my own plate of food. Mom talks about her day as I sit and take a knife and fork in hand.
And she's yelling at me. Her baby is crying and her other kid, I'm telling you, they had the most embarrassed look. But what can I do? Except apologize. And of course she didn't even tip.
Sorry I wasn't there to help you deal with that.
I'm glad you weren't there. Speaking of which, how's your day off been so far?
Just doing nothing.
Oh, boring. Stressful.
I mean, that is true. Like, even if you have a day off, it's still stressful because you're thinking of what is going to happen next.
What did you do?
Sat around here, mostly just a lot of thinking.
Ollie, it's your day off. At least take some time for yourself.
What am I supposed to do?
With what's been going on...
Still turn up about your classes, huh?
Yeah, guess so. And things just keep getting more complicated.
What do you mean?
I explained to her about the clubs between the meeting from a couple of days ago, the upcoming fair, and the feud between the two leaders. She listens attentively, her expression varying between interest and concern. I feel myself deflate further and further as I talk, the hopelessness of the situations becoming all the clearer as I put it into words. It never quite sunk until now just how bad my options are.
I really don't know what to do, Mom.
She has that soft, caring smile I've seen so many times in my life.
I know it's tough, but look at it this way. Even if they're fighting, the club leaders have been nothing but nice to you, right?
That is true.
Sure, maybe a bit too nice. I just don't know how things will go. My whole college career hinges on this.
You're more resilient than you give yourself credit for. I'm sure you'll pull through. Everyone wants you to do well. I know you won't regret your choice, whatever it is.
Wow. Wise words, Mom. Thanks.
That's easy to say.
It's true, though. You're wasting your day off stressing over it. Take the rest of the day for yourself. Relax, do something you enjoy. Don't make it another day of stress. That way you'll be going to this fair with a clearer head.
That's easier said than done. She does have a point though. I can't do anything more than I've already done at this point. It may not sit right with me that my future depends on people I barely know, but those two are who I'm stuck with. I have no choice but to gamble on this.
I'll try.
That's my Ollie.
She gives me a hug and a kiss on the forehead.
Now?
She pulls out the pastry box from earlier and places it on the table.
I brought a slice for each of us. Which one do you want? I'll let you pick first.
Inside lies 2 slices of pie, signatures from the diner we work at, 1 slice of blueberry and 1 slice of cherry. If I didn't know any better, I'd think she had done this on purpose. I'll take a blueberry. Is this going to be the next day? Oh, a few days later. This is Monday. Mondays come around again. I took Mom's advice and tried to relax after she left yesterday. I don't know if I succeeded. I feel like I've come back from an exhausting weekend. Today's the day of the fair. I'm not sure if I sold on either choice yet, but I don't really have time to mull it over anymore. I went over it again and again. I'm hoping seeing them at the fair today will finalize that. With the morning study over, the cafe beckons for a quick pick-me-up before going to war in the club's fair gymnasium venue. Never having been into this kind of event before, I expect chaos, especially so given the circumstances. The oak tree. Heading in, the place is thankfully quiet, with a scant few students quietly sipping lattes while tapping on laptops or hunches over books. It wouldn't feel unusual any other day, but right now it feels like a calm before the storm. Oh, that's Haley! A particularly lanky girl catches my eye, as much for her bright getup and headphones as anything else. Haley sits quietly as she listens to her music, hand in chin with a small coffee beside her. For someone so mild-mannered, she sure stands out. She picks her heads up and waves me over. Pulling up a seat, she rights herself a bit and takes a sip. Her grimace shows that it's either cold or bad. Probably only bought it to avoid being kicked out for hanging around without ordering. Even the cafe's coffee here is so bad.
Hey.
Hi. Done with fair prep?
Yep. I helped them finish setting their tables up this morning, so I've got the rest of the day off till the car ride home.
It's bound to be an awkward time after the fair today.
Haley can only give a weak shrug in response.
Caprice doesn't ride with us much nowadays. Dinner the other day was just an exception to the rule.
Huh, I wonder how I should read that. The meeting was definitely a bit tense, but I didn't think it would be to a point where they'd be avoiding each other to that degree. Oh my goodness, they're avoiding each other?
Are things okay? Like, between them, I mean.
Her face remains deadpan as ever, but I can faintly make out a raise in her eyebrows. I guess a question like that out of nowhere probably deserves a reaction like that.
They've just been having some personal stuff going on for a while, and things are volatile. Nothing you need to worry about. Probably.
Probably.
Would it make you feel any better if I said, definitely?
No.
Fair enough.
I pinch the bridge of my nose in frustration, an act that apparently does not go unnoticed by her.
Stressing you out that much?
You don't know the half of it. The situation on my end is pretty dire.
You'll be fine. Promise. I mean it this time.
How do you figure?
If you're just worried about your grades or whatever, they'll both make sure you get to where you need to be. They've never let me down anyway.
Ooh, interesting. Another sip of her coffee, supposedly forgetting about the reaction she just had to it. As expected, her face contours immediately in response.
Even if that's true, being stuck in the middle of those two like this just makes the entire thing feel more overwhelming than it probably needs to be, you know?
Yeah, well, join the club.
Which club? I've been stressing about just dealing with them this morning. I can't imagine actually sharing a living space with those two. I want to feel pity for Harley, but the small smile on her face makes me second guess that decision.
Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Content that her joke landed, she pulls her headphones back over her ears, our conversation at its ends.
Get your drink and get out there. Don't let me keep you. Good luck.
I'm not going to drink any coffee from the oak tree.
Alright. Nice talking to you.
Yep.
By the time I arrive, the club fair is in full swing. What must be hundreds of freshmen, with a scattering of second years here and there, fill the hall and mill about. It's interesting to see which ones looks like they're on a mission as they head directly for a particular club, compared to the others who peruse the tables as if browsing a farmer's market. Try poetry. Clubbing. Are you serious? Clubbing? Dozens of small stalls are lined up with varying amount of work put into them. Piles of flyers sit on each. The odd standee or props set up to try to catch the gaze of passing students. Most of those behind the club tables look more bored than anything, some having checked out completely as they lean back and browse on their phones. Man, they're not really dedicated, huh? The occasional happy shout rings out as an old friend to recognize each other, but for the most part, it's a surprisingly subdued affair. A nice surprise that calms the nerves a little, but not quite enough to really feel comfortable. Strolling along the aisles, I casually note that the more niche club entries, such as robotics, fighting games, and fencing, I could probably be persuaded to join a couple of them under different circumstances. Nearing the end of one particular aisle, it isn't hard to spot, or should I say hear, the art club's table.
Looking for fun? Come to the art club! We're accepting anybody, no artsy experience required.
Sounds about right. Millie sits beside her, hands together on the table as she patiently tries to catch an eye of those passing by. The formal act strikes me as a little put on, not helped by her occasional slips when Caprice gets louder than usual. How these two could live together has me beat, yet here they are, with their two small tables stuffed into one assigned space together. I feel like I'll never fully understand the relationship these two have. Then it happens. Caprice and Millie both set eyes on their prey at the same time. Far from fight breaking out, an intensely awkward silence reigned between the three of us as they carefully maintain their smiling facades, the occasional student passing by only exacerbating the standoff. Starting at the cruel fate assigned to me, I realize I'll have to take the initiative. Alright.
So, we all know what's happening here. Let me hear it.
If I may, the writing club's a great working environment, and you could get a lot more done in a peaceful workplace than a party. And being a real club, we have actual resources and didn't have to rely on sneaking into the club fair to even be here.
Even she's too eager to bite, Millie isn't really wrong as she sneaks a smug look to her right.
Shows how much you know. I actually did the paperwork.
And yet here you are, sharing my allocated space.
Now.
I don't need to explain anything. Olive's seen how great we are already.
Caprice on her own definitely has an overwhelming personality, but her club seems mellow enough. That combined with the fact that the art class is likely to be easier overall is tempting. The club writing on the other hand, well, Millie herself seems really into subject matter, at least. Even if the rest of the club isn't much of a factor, it'd be hard to find a better tutor.
So, have you made your decision?
Actually, I haven't.
Let's hear it!
Okay, whichever club I pick, I'll have to drop both the other club and the other class. There's not much chance I could do both and pull out a pass. Which one should I join? I really don't know which one should I join. Like, Capri's enthusiasm really makes the club really enjoyable and lively. And Millie's writing club, disregarding the header factor, this club seems fine. Wait, is that Darren? Darren's in Millie's writing club. Are you serious? Wow. Okay, I see you, Darren. Okay, I really don't know which club should I join. Probably I'll decide that on the next video. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. And this game is really good though. Like, I'm really interested in knowing more about this. I'll have to decide on the next video. But with that, thank you so much for watching. Chester here, and I'll see you guys next time. See you!